What is up, everybody? Mirrodin Gaming here, and we're back for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Tank Showcase and review. Today we're taking a look at the Tier 8 German tank destroyer, the Rhm Borsig Waffenträger, also known as the Waffle Thrower. But yeah, as you can see here, very similar to the Tier 9 that we've already reviewed. It's a medium or light tank chassis with a fully traversable TD gun on top. This gun is actually the same as what is on the Tier 10, the Grille 15. So it pretty much just goes right up the line. That's why this one is considered one of the best high damage tier 8 TDs, just because you do have the big alpha from the tier 10 on the tier 8. Let's go ahead. I'm not even going to go over the armor because this thing is paper. Yeah, look at that. Alright, let's go ahead and get over the comparison. So this thing kind of stands alone by itself because, at least for standard tech tree tanks, there are a few premium tanks that are similar, but when it comes to tech tree, either they are not traversable turret or they don't have big alpha. That's kind of the why it's its own animal basically. But as you can see here, as far as penetration goes, kind of low compared to the other two here. With your standard rounds of 215, but 215 goes through a lot of tanks. So definitely worth mentioning. The big 750 Alpha, of course, very good, better than the WC 111, and on par with the ISU 152. Reload time, kinda slow. This one having a slightly faster reload time. This is one of my favorites. With even the lower Alpha, the fact that you can get 3 rounds for every 2 of the other one, it kind of makes up for having a lower Alpha. And then the one problem that I do have with this tank, because I am actually playing this one right now, is the shell velocity. 645. This thing is field artillery. Literally, this thing is an artillery, just you use a TD sniper view. And then ammo capacity up 30. I feel like I'm almost about to run out of ammo if the games go long. So, one thing to mention there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our gold round, which is, of course, our HE round is also pretty good with 85mm pin, but our heat round with 334, that's right, good old 334 heat pin. Very similar to the Russian tanks with that 340. But yeah, you can go through a lot of tanks with this thing. There's a lot of tier 10s that don't even have that much penetration on their gold rounds. But yeah, this is what makes it viable against those tier 9s and tier 10s, let alone the tier 7s and 6s you'll see from time to time. You will just annihilate them. But that does step our speed down just a little bit to 516. Yeah, not very fast when it comes to speed on either of the shells. So you do have to lead a lot or try to hit targets that aren't moving. So that's the one downside that you have to get used to with the Rheinmetall. Then we get down to our dispersion. Like I said, it's considered a sniper tank, but it's not a sniper tank. With the 334 pin, you can pretty much hit the enemy tanks and go through them. So that's the one kind of caveat to being fairly high dispersion for a sniper tank. Aim time, also not great. Really want to be close to 2, if not under 2. So you definitely want to try and get that down and get your dispersion down to hit those longer shots for sure. Probably your reload time. Gun depression, not great. You do have to manufacture your own gun depression by propping yourself on rocks or little hills and stuff like that. Make use of your gun elevation, if you're backing up a hill to get gun depression. It's kind of weird way to say it, but yeah, you definitely have to work with the terrain and try to stay double bushed if you can, because yeah, you have no armor. Speed, yeah, this was another problem I had with it. It's very slow. I actually put a turbo on the thing in order to get into position faster. That's one of my 2 options. Because I'm playing around with different equipments at this point. And yeah, I mean, you do sit at the back a lot, so you don't necessarily have to have it, but I like to relocate. So for me, I like turbos. Not everyone will agree with me there, though. But otherwise, it does kind of hold its speed pretty well over most terrains. Then we get down to armor. Like I said, yeah, you have no armor compared to these other things, which honestly, these really aren't a lot of armor, but it's still better than nothing. Basically, anything is going to, if they see you, they're going to intuition load HE and blow you up. Because 1100 health, yeah, that's only like 2 shots. So for something faster, that has a faster reload with HE, you're dead. So you definitely want to try to stay hidden at all times, which your camo helps with that. 22 camo. It's actually one of the higher ratings out of all the tier 8 TD, at least for the tech tree. So, what would we do for our things? Honestly, I want to try to get that dispersion down as much as possible. The other things we want to look at, you can either try to get something with your dispersion value when moving, or with your traverse of your gun. Another option is aim speed. Of course, most people are going to go with the gun rammer. And then finally, a lot of people will end up going with, oh yeah, you can't have vents on this now that I think about it. So I would probably say you're probably going to want camouflage net. I usually tend to go with low noise exhaust just because I like the ability to have a little bit more when moving, but this is what I'm expecting most people to run. Maybe swap these two, but yeah. Don't throw camouflage plane on it. Brothers in Arms, you definitely want concealment on this thing. Smooth ride, snapshot. Those are like the givens, and intuition. Eventually, I would say you probably are going to want to try to get recon, so situational awareness, so you can spot for yourself towards the end of the battle. So what does that do to our stats? Reload time, 16.88. Not great, but right on par with the ISG 152. Aim time down to 2.5. Still not great, but decent. Dispersion down to 0.35. So that's right on the edge of sniper-ish. Anything under about 0.33 or 0.32 is probably good for sniping. And then we get down to camo. 60. That's actually way overkill. Because technically, if you're double bush, the double bush gives you plus 50% camo. So even with the moving camo, if you're double bushed, you're not going to get spotted because there's a max of 80. So we could actually probably do away with the net. And see, I always take that into account when I'm doing this, so that's why I tend to go for the low noise exhaust, so that buffs up my moving camo. Now there is something to be said, you could probably forgo the camo boost and go with something like binoculars maybe? And that boosts your view range to the point of you can spot for yourself at the end of the game. In fact, that's actually a little overkill as well. You could even go with coated optics here. But it really kind of depends on your playstyle and how you like run your tank, especially if you tend to last longer into the game. I always like having my own vision because I always assume our light tanks are going to be dead. So anyway, let's get over to the gameplay. Alright. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce this name because, yeah. Not even gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. From the RAR clan. They are anonymized though, so let's go ahead and watch them play their Ramatal. Oh, so they have binoculars and turbo. So they have a similar setup to what I would attempt to run. Because I have improved aiming, binocs, and turbo right now on mine. Alright, going to the standard. Oh, what's that? Why did you get to do this before? Oh, can't hit him. Oh, dude swerved right at the last second. Get down here, make sure he wasn't spotted. He wasn't spotted though, thankfully. The light tank was behind a bush. Oh, there's a T-103. Oh, ricochet. Yeah, I think he may be running the small gun there. The 449. Yeah, he's running the small gun on this. Okay. I can see that. It does have better dispersion and a faster reload, so that is an option if you prefer it. I think there's a spot through there to shoot. Gotta be careful here. You drove right Yeah, I would have gone back down the hill a little bit, where I wasn't spotted between the gaps here. Oh, he's actually going to move for... Guess he might have looked and seen that the light tank is gone, so... Oh! Come on, back up, 122! Back up, up there! Oh, no. Sitting here in the open, not the best of ideas. Where that shell went. Oh, and he drives back behind cover. Oh, he's backing up again? Oh, maybe not. There it is. I could see that shell was off quite a bit there. It went high and left. Alright, so he's going to try to come help deal with these guys. Yeah, that turbo is definitely helping. Up to 34, 35 there for a second. Or for a millisecond. Also, another thing to note, the smaller gun does have APCR as its gold rounds, so are able to shoot through like these fences and whatnot without a problem. Continue moving up. Actually going to try to take the dip. Okay. Not to knock over that tree, because that definitely would have exposed his location as he came across and slowed him down so someone might have been able to shoot him. Going into a light tank position actually here. Interesting. Get some shots on these heavies on the side. Boom! There's a big old hit. He was spotted. If he played a little bit further back, he might have been able to not get spotted. Interesting play here. He's going to reverse. Oh wait, is he reversing up the hill? Yeah, he's reversing up the hill so he can pull away faster. Great idea on those tanks that have really slow reverse speeds, which this one does. It's only like 12, I want to say. Alright, so there's one kill already. 1100 damage. Okay, now he's going to try not to pull as far up this time. What's that? Building there is kind of in the way. And boom. Another one gone. Hit. 2 kills so far, 1500 damage, not bad. And see, that's really what your choice of guns for this tank comes down to. Do you want faster reload to where you have more chances to fling those shells down range, or do you want the ability to have big hits whenever you do hit? 53 TP is going to be a little bit of a problem. The turret's a little strong. About something else. Where that some wall went. There he is. Big old hit. I think he has mod. Guy's not sitting still. Where that shell went. Was not spotted because he was kind of double bushed there, or at least single bushed there. That TD just doesn't have quite. Ooh. And that one's gone. Oh, 53 TP has rotated out. Still have quite a few TDs that have not been spotted. There's one. Ooh, that's going to be a nice big hit. In the side. There you go. Are you spotted? No, not spotted. Nice. Yeah, be able to deal with multiple. Damn. Give me a shot to that dude again. Nice. And finished him off. 53. There. Now down to standard rounds. Probably gonna move just straight across to that hill at this point. They know that most of those enemy tanks are going to be in the back somewhere. Oh, 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 there's something. Oh, right over the top of engine deck. That would have been a nice little macaroni to the SU-130. Yeah, it is one of the other tanks that's similar to this one. The SU and then the Scorpions are considered the closest playstyle-wise. Finish him off. Nice. 3 kills. Yep, and spotted. Expected that. Why he went ahead and reversed off. As you can see, yep, he's doing the thing again where he's going to reverse up the slope where he can pull away faster. Blind fires there. Gotta be careful, that SU might be in a position to him. Oh, there's the SU. SU gone. Wait, only the T-103, which I expect is in that back corner, like where someone just pinged. 53 are left. Oh, there's 53. Ally and both hit it. There's T-103. Is he going to reload in time for... Nope, he is not. Well, that is going to be it for that game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the end game stats here. Alright, so high caliber, ace tanker, and spotter. Not too bad for a fairly quick game overall. 4,300 damage, 3 kills, 1,900 spotting or tracking assistance damage, and was the first to spot the SU. So yeah, very good gameplay. That is definitely a great way to play this tank. Use what little mobility you have, although he was running a turbo like I mentioned. And like I said, you have the option of either gun really here. I've seen a lot of people use the big alpha gun, but the small gun is also a very viable option for this tank. Anyway, don't forget to check me out on Twitch. I'm going to start streaming again on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as my job allows me to. I work in IT, so I'm on call every other week, so that kind of screws up my streaming ability. But anyway, this is Meridian Gaming, and I will see you on Battlefield.